As a parent, finding out the sex of your soon-to-be child sends you dreaming in blue or pink. We are so excited about the gender of our children, we created a celebration just to announce it. We even start fires about it. I spend my career working with children of all ages, and one topic that always comes up is gender role expectations. These stereotypes almost always create negative implications. Reality is, although well-intentioned, what we are actually doing is stripping our children of the opportunity to discover who they are on their own terms. This is why we need to start raising our children without imposed gender. Gender and sex are two different things. So what is sex? DNA, sexual organs, hormones, our brains. Many people argue science proves that sex binary is legitimate, meaning that there's only two genders, male and female, which simply isn't true. We have the ability to assess DNA and genetics by examining karyotypes, which is basically a photo of our chromosome makeup. There's a misconception that a person has either XY or XX chromosomes, but there are actually 6 different biological karyotype pairings that would be used to define biological sex. Science proves that the human brain is far too complex to be reduced to 2 clear binary sexes. While there are some average differences, there isn't a clear male or female brain. Rather, there's a mosaic of male-ish or female-ish characteristics. It's actually impossible to know if these differences are biological or environmental. The brain is malleable and continues to change as we go through life. This is where the argument of nature versus nurture comes in. Females have estrogen, and if you're male, you have testosterone, right? But actually, everyone has a different level of both hormones. Some women with more testosterone and some males with more estrogen. We're born with internal and external reproductive organs. Some people are penis owners and some are vulva owners. Some have both. Some have external reproductive organs that match their internal organs, and some don't. So ultimately, biology is all over the place. It isn't a reliable source to confirm sex binary. Now let's talk about the differences between gender identity, biological sex, expression, and attraction. Gender identity is how a person thinks about themselves. This can be male, female, or genderqueer, like being non-binary, which means you don't identify with either one. Biological sex is defined by those chromosomes, sexual organs, and hormones we were talking about before. A person may be male or female or intersex, which is a bit of both. Attraction is who we are attracted to, but this can be different when considering sexual attraction and romantic attraction. A person may feel sexually attracted to males, but romantically attracted to both females and males. Attraction is a fluid concept, which can change with a person. Some people live on a spectrum from heterosexual to bisexual to homosexual or even asexual. Gender expression is how you present to the world. This can be more feminine, masculine, and sometimes androgynous, which is neither. Some people change the way they present according to their mood. Lastly, we have assigned sex at birth, a decision that is made by doctors and parents, often without taking all of the possibilities into consideration. You might have heard the concept of gender being a social construct. This is referring to gender roles and bias that are embedded in our culture, which we interact with on a daily basis and normally don't even realize it. Gender choices are influenced by societal factors like marketing and sexism. Often, this is exhibited through parental interactions, which are radically influenced by gender stereotypes. Scientists found that fathers commented on daughters' physical appearances and reacted more to their emotional expressions than they did their sons. In social settings, we're rewarded for engaging in gender stereotypes through peer reinforcement and find ourselves in gender segregation, which only perpetuates those expectations. Rigidly enforced gender expectations have implications. According to the Journal of Adolescent Health, it's associated with increased lifelong risk of mental and physical health problems. So, how can we go about allowing our children to discover who they are with the freedom that they deserve? First, be conscious of the gender stereotypes you're engaging in when interacting with your children. Second, normalize conversations with your children about gender identity and expression. Third, push against gender norms. Teach your children how to use proper pronouns. Last, be your child's safe space, allowing them to come to you with any questions they may have without judgment. Ideally, we would do away with gender assignments altogether. But if we're going to raise children with an imposed gender, then we need to leave the door open for change. Reality is that there are too many possibilities to put a person in one of two tiny boxes. Although we as parents might believe we know our children the best, only they can tell us who they really are.